Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The path of karma, yoga and devotion assume certain things, and it is working on certain assumptions. Which are those assumptions? The first assumption is we are a limited being, and whatever good or bad we are having in this world is because of our karma from the last life. So we are a limited being. This is the assumption. Second thing, then we are told practice karma yoga. So what is the karma yoga? Karma yoga is Ishwararpitam Nechchaya Kritam. Whatever is to be done should not be done because I want, but should be done because it is ought to be done. So we lead a life of duty fulfillment and not the right assertion. As a result, what will happen? Your mind will become pure. And when you are doing this karma without the personal likes and dislikes, as a fulfillment of your duty, your mind will become pure. And what is the purity of the mind or purification of the mind? Removing the load of likes and dislikes. For this purpose, we do karma. Yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. The karma yogis do all the karma for the purification of the mind. This is the rule. Okay. So karma yoga talks about purification of mind. Then comes the path of devotion. And in devotion, we talk about single pointedness of the mind. So we are doing everything for the sake of the Lord. Therefore, we start doing japa or we start doing the worship of the Lord. For what? So that our mind becomes single pointed. It doesn't run in many directions. Here also, we are working on the mind. So Karma Yoga talks about purification of the mind, and path of devotion talks about making the mind single pointed. Then we take the third path, the path of yoga, and in the yoga also we talk about controlling the mind. Trayamekatra Sayamaha, controlling the mind fully with reference to time, space and object. Here also, mind is taken for granted that it is uncontrolled, we are disturbed because of the mind, therefore control the mind. But it is very difficult. Yes, it is difficult, but you have to control. Practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grujyate. By the practice and dispassion, you can control the mind. So in these three paths, path of karma, path of devotion and path of yoga, we have taken the mind for granted. We can solve some problem if the problem is really there. Most of us are trying to solve the problems which are not there. And therefore we suffer in life. Trying to solve the non-existing problem is the tragedy of the human existence. Now the fourth path we will discuss, where we are told, hey, you want to purify your mind? Yes. You want to make your mind single pointed? Yes. You want to control your mind? Yes. Now please tell me, what is mind? Manasam tu kim? Margane krute. When you start inquiring the very existence of mind, show me the mind that you are talking about. My mind is impure. Like I say, this glass or the water is impure. Show me the water impure. See, you drink it, you will have dysentery for one month. Oh, this is impure water. So when we say the mind is impure, show that mind. What do you mean by mind? So when we inquire, Manasam tu kim? What is this mind? We are trying to sort out. Margade krute, when we inquire, the conclusion comes. Naiva manasam. Hey, mind is not anywhere. When the mind itself is non-existent, the creation of the mind, how it can be real? See? Therefore, this path of inquiry takes up this approach. Find out what the mind is. Now, should we say the mind is not and drop the whole topic? You may say, but we are suffering because of the mind. How can you say that? Yes, so the mind is. If the mind is a reality, then you cannot get rid of the mind. You will have to suffer all through your life. But that you don't want. Then, should we say that the mind is as well as is not? No, we can't say like that. How can the same thing exist as well as not exist? So we have come to this point. We want to know about what the mind is. So then we go further in our inquiry. Mind is an interaction between two types of thoughts. Subjective thought versus objective thought. All the objective thoughts are dependent on the subjective thought. Subjective thought is one, objective thoughts are many. Like this is a table, this is a tablecloth, this is a glass, this is a watch. These are many. Who says that these are the things here? I say. What do you say? I say that this is the table. I say that this is the glass. I say this is the tablecloth. I say this is a watch. So with everything that is seen, is a separate I born or there is a common I? So we will say there is one common I. I have alone seen the tablecloth. I have alone seen the glass. I have alone seen the watch. So this I is one and the not I's are many. Depending on this, we start writing our biography. When I was small, everybody used to like me. They pick me up, hug me, kiss me. I used to feel so good that I am really nice. But now anybody looks at me, they take the newspaper. They don't want to look at me. I don't know what is gone wrong. I am the same. So that I remains the same, but all the not I starts changing. And the not I's depend on the I. If I is not there, my wife has no existence. If I is not there, my children have no existence. If I is not there, my religion has no existence. If I is not there, my guru has no existence. If I is not there, my God has no existence. So everything is dependent on this I. And therefore, the mind is this I thought. Aham vritti viddhi manaha. This I thought is the mind. After we come to this point, then we go one step further. Now find out who is this I. Ayam aham kutaha bhavati. What is this I? This I is spoken of by the ignorant and the wise people in different ways. When I say I am old, here the meaning of I is body. When I say that I am hungry, the meaning of I is prana. When I say I am hurt because he did not look at me, he neglected me, he was very indifferent to me. So who is this I? The mind. I am very successful person. I don't believe in emotions. I is intellect. I don't know what sins I have done in the last life. I have to get married to you in this life. See? So I am a sinner. Now please tell me, who is this I? Sometime you are talking I as a body, sometime I as a prana, sometime I as a mind, sometime I as an intellect, sometime I as a soul. Now why don't you fix your correct identity? Who are you? See? Bhagavan Sri Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastita. I am the formless, permeating all the forms. Everything is in me, but I am not in them. The Lord also says I. Now there are so many I's. What is the real I? So ayam aham kutaha bhavati. Now find out where is this I. Now see what happens. Our attention is now taken away from the objective world and it is focused on this subjective one. And you know what happens? Your eyes are EYES. Your eyes are functional. How they are functional? Are you able to see the wall behind me? Yes. Because your eyes have got the vision. Very good. Now look at my beautiful face. Can you see? Of course. Do you know why? Because you have got eyes with the vision. Very good. Now please see your own eyes with your own eyes. Try. Can you see? No. Do you know why? Because you are blind. Eyes can see everything which is other than the eyes. When the mind, which is I thought, when the I thought inquires about itself, the thought disappears. and the thought-free I remains. Now see, I as a child. Childhood has gone, but I is there. I as a teenage. Teenage has gone, but I is there. I as a middle age. That middle age has gone, but I is there. I as an old person. So the old age is there, I is there. After some time, old age will also go, the body will also go, but the I continues to exist. This eternal presence is the reality. In this, we have neither purified the mind, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुः मा ते संगः अस्तु अकर्मणि. Do your duty sincerely. You should serve the world. You should help others. All rubbish. Then you should make your mind single pointed. And for that, you keep on chanting the Lord's name. You go on doing the puja. Oh, rubbish. You do the yoga. Pranayamam, pratyaharam, japya sameta samadhi vidhanam. And then be the slave to the Guru. Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj. Why? Because I want to control my mind. Super rubbish. Find out, who is this I? And when you dig the grave of I, it is empty. We have constructed a big monument on the samadhi, on the grave of I. And when you dig open it, there is nothing. See? Ayaminasha bhaji aham aham taya spurati vrut swayam paramapurna sat. I as a child has gone, but the absolute I remains ever the same. I as a teenager has gone, but the absolute I remains the same. Our understanding of I is like that of a garland. Garland made out of flowers. When we look at the garland, we go on talking the beauty of the garland. Oh, how nice it is, how fresh it is, how well done it is. But is there something called as a garland at all? It is only the individual flowers are put together by a continuous thread. In the same manner, individual experiencers, they are all put together by a continuous thread of consciousness. And as the garland appears, it is useful, it looks beautiful, and yet there is nothing like garland. The reality is the flowers and the thread. In the same manner, all our experiences have got these three components. Experience the world, experience of the world, and the experiencer of the world. So with every experience, an experiencer is born. Like in every dream, a new dreamer is born. But do we make a personality of a dream one? No. There is no dream personality. In the same way, with every waking experience, a new waker is born. But what we do? We collect all the wakers, put the thread of consciousness, and make a garland of I. Be very, very attentive. And if we have to talk, what do we talk? We talk only about the past. And when we talk about the past, we have to bring the future in the talk. As a result, we don't remain in the present. See, if we are asked to talk about ourselves, please tell something about you. Okay, you want to make notes? I'll tell. I was born on 31st April. I was born to parents whose pedigree is not known. I was born in Ethiopia. Then I was raised in Australia. Then I studied in England. And then I have landed in Austria. What are you doing here? Frustrated, doing nothing. And then I met you. Then you ask me this question. Tell something about you. Then I told you. Thereafter, there is nothing to talk. The moment we come in the absolute present, story ends. See? And therefore, one of the most potent spiritual practice is remain in the present. Do not dig your own grave and find out what is there in the past. Never bring your past to the surface, nor ask anybody's past. You will start remaining quiet and cheerful. This small I, which is born with every experience, when there is a misery, a miserable I is born, I don't know, I am feeling very low in spirit today. Then you take spirit, you will be high in spirit. Suddenly next time, hey, how is everything? Are you all right? What about you? I am feeling very good today. See what a bright day. Aha. So one moment a miserable fellow is born. Next moment a happy one is born. Sometimes the mood is on. Sometimes the mood is off. Sometimes the mood is off. Sometimes the mood is off. On once in a while. In this manner, with every change of mood, a new personality is born. But there is one substratum which is supporting every mood, but not getting influenced by any mood. The happy me is born with the happiness and dies when the misery comes. A miserable me is born when the misery comes and dies when the happiness comes. A successful me is born when I am in business and successful. When the business goes to dog, I also start carrying 2 dogs with me. So these eyes are again and again born and again die. But there is one common thread which has never left us, and that which we cannot give up is the reality. So we are not talking about the temporary appearance. We are talking about the eternal presence. And in this inquiry, now see, we have neither done karma, we have nor done devotion, nor we have done yoga. Because the identity crisis is solved. All of you probably know Gita. Arjuna was confused in the first chapter about his own identity. Whether he is a grandson to Bhishmacharya, who is standing in opposition as an enemy, whether he is a disciple to Dronacharya, who is standing in the opposite army as an enemy, or he is a warrior on the battlefield. That was his crisis. Who am I? And when he had a mistaken identity, that I am a grandson to Bhishmacharya, and then he started thinking. Then I am a disciple to Guru Dronacharya. Then he started thinking. What will be the thinking? Thinking will be, if I kill my grandfather, it is a sin. If I kill my Guru, it is a sin. How can I commit sin? Oh God, I nearly committed the sin. Thank you, sir. I am not going to fight this war. It is better they kill me, but I will not kill them. What will say? Oh, how noble Arjun was. It is Bhagwan Krishna who made him fight the war. Bhagwan says, hey, you are talking like a wise person, but behaving like a fool. How am I a fool? On the battlefield, what is the relationship? If you are a surgeon, and if the patient is on the operation table, what is your relationship with the patient? You are a surgeon and he is a patient. Suppose the patient happens to be your own son. Does it mean that you are a father and he is a son? No. On this operation table, your relationship is only that of a doctor and a patient. But when I forget that I am a doctor, but I remember I am the son, I am the father. And when I forget he is a patient, and I remember he is my son, and then I start imagining, suppose when I am doing this operation, suppose my son dies and he is my only son and I don't know whether I should do or not. All your abilities are totally taken away. So what Bhagavad Gita did? Arjuna did not do karma yoga. Arjuna did not do meditation. Arjuna has not done charity. Arjuna has not gone to the holy places. Arjuna has not taken a mala and chanted Hari Om, Hari Om. Arjuna has only understood one thing, that identity crisis was solved. Therefore, in the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, my identity crisis is dissolved. Now I know who is this I. This I is playing different roles. I, before my mother, is a son. I before my sister is a brother. I before my brother is a brother. And this I is playing different roles. When all of them disappear, I continue to exist. So there are two I's. One I is a relative I. In relation to something, I is born. And second I is the absolute I, which is never born, which never dies. When our identity is corrected, we have discovered the truth. Now see, in this complete analysis, there is no struggle. We have not done anything. Only thing, the wrong notions that we have, they are thrown. Why we have wrong notions? Because we don't have knowledge. We are ignorant. There was a king, and he went to his room, and suddenly the lights went off. Pitch darkness. So the king started shouting, "Get the army." Now who can ask the king for what? Army is got. "Remove the darkness from the room." So the army tried with bulldozers and tankers to remove the darkness. "Sir, it is not going. You are all useless. Call the fire brigade people. Wash away the darkness." The darkness could not be washed by the waters. "Call the sweeper battalion. Sweep away the darkness." They could not sweep away the darkness. Then there was an intelligent wife. He said, "Sir, can I do something?" "What can you do?" "When the army could not remove, the fire brigade failed, the sweepers could not remove the darkness, what will you do?" She said, "If you give me chance, I can." And then she just lit a matchstick and the darkness has gone. See? We are unnecessarily struggling. My mind is very impure. My mind is running here and there. I want to control my mind. Therefore, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Cartoons. All the problem is the problem of this identity crisis. This identity crisis disappears in deep sleep. Because in deep sleep, we do not exist in relation to somebody or something. In deep sleep, we are neither husband nor wife, neither old nor young, neither rich nor poor. So all the relative entities with which we come in contact with the world, all of them get dissolved, and therefore there is no problem. But there is one thing which is never absent, which is present in the waking but not as a waker. Present in the dream, but not as a dreamer. Present in the deep sleep, but not a sleeper. Present in the samadhi, but not doing samadhi. That eternal presence. See? We cannot talk about it. The words will fail to describe this reality. Because words can talk about only that which can be described in relation to some attributes. This cloth is ochre color. This table is like a nice gravestone, a baby gravestone. So you can talk about. When you come to the space, what will you talk about space? Can we say that the space has got a nice touch, nice feel? Oh, good. Can you say the space is hot or space is cold? No. Can you say the space is bright or space is dark? No. Can you say the space is wet or space is dry? No. Can you say the space is heavy and having a great fragrance? No. All our senses fail to recognize what the space is. Although we are all living in space, we cannot talk about space. And space is only the projection of the mind. So this gross space is the baby of the mind. When the baby space is not speakable, can we talk about the mind? And mind is nothing but the extension of the consciousness. This consciousness can never be spoken of. Therefore, wise people keep their mouth shut. That is why when the sound begins, relative world is created. Silence is never created. Silence is eternal presence. But this silence is only a relative to the sound. When the sound is born, silence is disturbed. When the sound dies, again silence prevails. But there is one more entity which is supporting the sounds as well as the silence. Not opposed to anything. Silence is opposed to the sound and sounds are opposed to silence. But there is one fourth entity, third entity, which is not disturbed by the sound, which is not improved by the silence. See? Many a times when there is absolute silence, quiet, and some sound happens, we get irritated. Why they are making noise? Such a good, peaceful atmosphere. So, peace versus noise. Silence versus sound. We are still in the relative world. But when we transcend the total relativity, we come to know that in this absolute reality, there is no trace of otherness. This absolute infinite conscious bliss is the reality. We are not able to cognize and remain in our original state of blissful existence because we are intelligent. Intelligent people suffer intelligently. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Dakshinamurti Stotra, Vishwam pashyati karya karanataya swaswami sambandhatah शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृ पुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषः माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. For us, world is nothing but cause and effect. Vishwam pashyati karya karanataya. When we look at the world, it is nothing but cause and effect. Like Swaswami sambandhatah. I am the Swami Guru Maharaj and you are all my disciples. So cause, effect. Sir, can you be the Guru without the disciples? No. That is why I am tying you down. See, there was a son who was scolded by the dad. I gave you birth to see this day, you fool. So the son said, Dad, enough is enough. What? Who told you you gave me birth? I gave you birth. The father said, my dear son, you gave me birth. Yes. How? Who called you dad without my birth? So the father to the son and son to the father, they are only in relation to each other. Similarly, Shishya Acharya, the Guru and the disciple. The whole world is only in relation to each other, cause and effect, cause and effect. See how important it is. But the one who is really established in the Absolute goes beyond all the relative existence. But we don't want that. We want bondage. See, those people who happen to stay near the railway track, they develop unknowingly a faculty that they cannot talk except very high, loud pitch. Because constantly that sound is continuously going on. So when they have to talk to each other, hey, where is the glass of water? Oh, it is kept there. This is how right from childhood they start talking. And when they go to a calm, quiet place, they cannot talk slowly. In the same manner, we all have lived right from childhood under the pressure of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. So first cause and effect at home, dad and the son. We discard that. Then we get married. Then husband, wife, cause and effect. I am husband because of you, the wife. You are a wife because of me, the husband. Cause and effect. Then we get fed up there also. Then we go to a Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, Beta, you have come. I was waiting for a fool like you. Good. And then the Guru ties you down with a lead and takes you wherever he has to go. And then the tying is by the thread of guilt and fear. Thou shalt not do this. If you do this, Guru Droha, you are committing the sin which even God cannot forgive you. So the disciple is already confused. And with that huge figure of the Guru, he gets more confused, Don't worry, I'll take all your sins. You only confess. And when you confess, I know all your secrets. Then I will blackmail you. This is how I will take care of you. See? And this is how we imagine we are walking the spiritual path. Friends, the real Guru is our own experience. Learn. When we say, I am disturbed, are we really disturbed? We'll see these disturbances are only at the surface of our personality. In deep within, there are no disturbances. We have never experienced, be very attentive, I am telling you something very deep. We have never experienced our birth. We have never experienced our growth. We have never experienced our death. And we go on worrying about that. If you do this thing, you will go to hell. If I go to hell, that means I will be there, I will not die. Because I cannot go to hell with my body, it is not allowed. And can your hell exist without God? If the hell can exist without God, hell is more powerful than the God. And where will you go after cursing me that I am going to hell? I will go to heaven. Oh, if you are going to heaven, I never want to come there. Hell is better. If people like you are in the heaven, it is not worth visiting. See, all your fear, all your guilt, all your bondage is only the imagination, creation of our foolishness. Discover this truth that you are. This joy that you all have, this joy is an expression of your own divinity. You are not laughing at anybody. You are laughing at your own foolishness. Really, I was a dumb? No, it is not a history. Now, again and again we make ourselves miserable. See, the more you start remaining in the present, at this stage you are in the absolute present. When you are in the absolute present, you have to be happy. You can never be miserable. Because in the present alone is the presence. And the presence is blissful. It is not a load. It's a joy. Therefore, this is the fourth path of inquiry. Don't struggle to purify. Don't struggle to make the mind single-pointed. Don't struggle to control the mind. Focus attention. Who is this miserable I? Anything that has a beginning has an end. The miserable I cannot remain eternally, but the absolute I is an eternal presence. It has no beginning, it has no end. That is the reason we have no experience of birth, we have no experience of death. Like many cars come on the road and go away, in the same manner, I, the conscious space on which many clouds of the bodies come, remain and disappear. But the conscious space is untouched by them. This eternal consciousness is the truth. This is bliss. This is reality. This is realization. And in this, what happens is, we only give up the wrong notions that we have about ourselves, about the world, and about the God. In this eternal absolute presence, there is nothing like the world, the stage for suffering, the I, the soul, the sufferer, and God, the enjoyer of the sufferings of the soul. No. This is the meaning of real tapasya. This is the real austerity. Standing on one leg, or sleeping on the thorn beds, or not taking warm clothes when it is cold, putting the fire all around when it is terribly hot. What is going on? I am doing tapasya, austerities. Observing fast for 41 days without food, without water. And then there is a celebration. This Mahatma is living without food and water for last 41 days. And everybody comes. And this fellow is, now neither he can go back nor he can continue. He is all the time thinking, how long people will come? Now I am feeling hungry, but now he can't go back. Get out of all these wrong notions of spirituality. Discover your essential self. In this, there is no gain, there is no loss. When a candle burns, nothing is lost. In the same manner, life is lived eternally. So many bodies are born in this conscious space like the clouds and disappear. Nothing happens to this conscious reality. When we recognize ourselves to be this reality, there cannot be fear on account of relativity. Living in this understanding and experience is called as living in meditation. Meditation is not a circus. It is not a struggle. It is not for a time being. See, many people get very much enchanted by samadhi. Don't give too much importance to samadhi. There was a friend of mine, he is a doctor, very well read. He has studied a lot, many scriptures, many Mahatmas he visited. One day he came and met me, he rather phoned me. Swamiji, I want to come to Bombay right away and be with you in your ashram. I said, please, for God's sake, don't come. I don't have ashram. I am staying in somebody's house and there is no place even to stand here. So don't come. But I want to be with you. I said, where are you? He said, I am in Delhi. I said, I am coming to Delhi. You come and meet me there. So he came to Delhi. And when he met me there, he asked me, Swamiji, I want to have samadhi. I said, I don't sell samadhi. That is not with me. No, but I want to be. I said, you may want. Then he said, what is your program? I said, I am going to Badrinath. I'll come with you. I said, there is no place in our bus. He said, I'll take my car. I said, you follow then. He came to Badrinath. We went to the temple and all that. Then there is a little bit of hillock where Vedavyasa wrote all the Vedas. He wrote the Mahabharata there. It's a very beautiful spot. One has to climb about 500-600 feet after 11,000 feet. So everybody went there. I don't go there because I have gone number of times. Now I only sit at the base. So I was sitting on a rock. I said, hey, go there. He said, no, I will not go. I have come to you. I want only samadhi and nothing else. As I sat down. Then I asked him a question. I said, you know, I have two daughters. One is 23 years old and other is 3 years old. So the 23 years old daughter was being married and the small one was running around. Hey, what is happening? What is happening? Somebody told, you don't know, your daughter is getting married. Oh, then what happens? You know that boy with whom she got married, they will have a lot of fun. Really? She ran to me. Dad, yes, I want to get married to you and we will have fun. Now that child of 3 years, what she has understood the meaning of the word marriage? In the same manner, I want samadhi. What do you understand by samadhi? He said, Swamiji, I don't know. I said, when you don't know, don't go into it. Like the waking experience comes and goes. Dream comes and goes. Sleep comes and goes. Samadhi also begins and ends. That is not the truth. But it becomes a great enchantment that I can sit in one posture for 6 hours. Others cannot. Therefore, I am superior than others. See? I can hold the breath inside in Pura Kumbhak for 2 minutes. Others cannot. Therefore, I is superior than you. See? This has nothing to do with the reality. Suppose you are in samadhi. How long? 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. What next? All the problems are only because of not understanding, not recognizing our own divinity. Recognize that divine presence. And this divine presence is covered by our own imaginations. See? I'll tell you how our own imaginations cover the reality. Once I was sitting with one of my friend in his shop. Afternoon time. I was sitting on his counter and he said, Swamiji, please sit there and bless. So I opened the box and there were a lot of cash. So I was playing. I said, hey, now I'll start distributing it to everybody who's here comes. He said, Swamiji, you always make fun, isn't it? You always make jokes. I said, this is real. No, don't do that. And while we are talking like this, one man was coming to the shop. My friend told, Swamiji, I'll tell you, what is that? You know that man who is coming? He is coming to ask donation from me. He said, I can smell people. All these people come for asking money. I said, then give. Anyway, I have to give because of my position in the society. But these people I can smell from a distance. Then that man came. He asked, is this the shop of Mr. So-and-so? Yes. I want to talk to him. Yes, talk to me. I am that person. My friend told. He said, do you have a friend so-and-so in Calcutta? Yes. Can you please dial him on this number? I want to talk to him in presence of you. So he said, how come this fellow knows so details? So he phoned. Then he took the phone and spoke. Sir, this is the man to whom you want me to give the draft of 20 lakhs of rupees? Yes, you can give it to him. And then he said, your friend has sent this draft of 20 lakhs of rupees through me because I was coming here and he wanted a trustworthy person. So this is your draft, please take that. And he was going. He said, no, wait, have a cup of tea. He said, no, I had no time, I am in a hurry. So he went. Then I asked him, according to you, he was a person who has come to collect donations. This is how our vision is always clouded by prejudice, by biasness. These are all the projections of the mind. So we go on imagining that somebody likes me, somebody doesn't like me. Somebody loves me, somebody hates me. Somebody is important, somebody is not important. Because of these projections of the mind, the truth is hidden. The truth is covered. Please recognize this truth. It is ever the same. That is why meditation is not doing anything, but undoing all what we have done. Meditation is not becoming anybody, unbecoming of all what we have become. Meditation is not a verb. It is not an action. It is an experience in being blissful. Living in this understanding. Is walking the path of spirituality. As we go to the center, all the changes disappear. When we remain at the periphery of the giant wheel, there is too much frightening movement. But as we go to the center, none of these things ever disturb us. Now, without our efforts, the body is perfectly steady, fully relaxed. Without our efforts, the breathing is slow and shallow. Without our efforts, the mind is quiet. When we are established in this absolute reality, thereafter we play on the stage of the drama of life. Like an actor is not influenced by the actions on the stage. In the same manner, there is neither sin nor merit. There is no karma, there is no result of karma. There is no previous birth, there is no subsequent birth. There is no hell, there is no heaven. The truth is revealed here and now. Not there and then posthumous, after death. No. As the space has no efforts to support the four elements, as the mind has no efforts to support good and bad thoughts, similarly, the consciousness has no efforts to support the waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. This pure conscious existence is the truth. I will conclude this session by Purnamadaha, but you can continue as long as you want. You don't have to get up if you don't want. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namah.